Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Welcome to the Black Tax. There's an African proverb that says, even the lion protects himself against flies. When you are a firstborn, you tend to take on the responsibility of others. Not that it was told for you to do that. It is something that is an unspoken rule that constantly happens to each and every one of us, regardless of your race, your creed, your color, your gender. And somehow that translates into our everyday life when we want to be empaths and we want to help and we want to fix things because we've been raised to do that. But what happens when we do that? We put our needs second and everyone else's needs first. When we don't take stock in our own health, both mentally, emotionally, physically, we do everything else not to have to deal with what we have to deal with. And we tend to think that no one can help us because we already know who they are, why they are, what they are, and their weaknesses. And as a result of that, we tend to think that we can't turn to anybody for help. I'm guilty of that. I'm very, very guilty of that. I'm also very guilty of wanting to help fix other people's problems because my life is so great or so good or is comfortable. I have had hardships. I have had emotional moments when I just didn't care anymore. But I also understood that I had to carry on. And one of the things that I've discovered during COVID, or at the beginning of COVID, was I had gotten to a point where I no longer wanted to wear the red boots or a cape, that I didn't want to be the person that was there when somebody needed a shoulder to cry on, or was there when they needed some help to move something, or was there when they needed anything, or my talent, my gifts, or the use of my education to make them look better and move forward. I had grown tired of that. And as I was ending my business and legal affairs career, reaching the 30-year mark, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. And the first step I did was I stepped back. I didn't call you if you didn't call me. I waited. I'm still waiting for about 15 people to pick up the phone and like, oh my God, where have you been? Zero. Nothing. And I'm okay with that. There are 4 individuals who I have helped out when I was living in Los Angeles all the time with their business, babysitting, moving, whatever it was. I thought we had that kind of relationship, but apparently we didn't, because I had COVID twice and asked them, hey, can you go and pick up some food for me and you can leave it at the door and then I'll just Zelle you the money. Oh yeah, Malik, I can take care of this. And I didn't put that burden on one person. I put it on 4 different people, pick up 4 different things for me. Someone was always going to the farmer's market. Hey, can you go here? And can you get me this? Can you get me this? Can you get me this? Oh, by the way, can you go here and pick this up for me? And it was not out of their way. We all kind of lived in the same area. I'm still waiting for those groceries. That moment told me everything I needed to know about the circle of influence that I had or I perceived to have. And it also taught me that I don't need to come to everyone's aid if they can't come to mine. We often want to be the hero, the shining star up in the sky that everybody turns to because somehow it strokes our ego. Somehow it makes us feel good about who we are. But then actually what it does is it perpetuates us not wanting to deal with our own emotions, our own feelings, and our own things. How often have you said to yourself, oh, I want to start this business. Oh, I want to learn to play the piano. Oh, I want to learn how to do this. And then somebody's drama pop up and come to the rescue. That is avoidance. And I'm guilty of it. I'm very, very guilty of it. I made a promise to myself that I was going to go back to when it was before we all had internet and mobile phones and social media, that I was going to pick up a hobby. But more than a hobby, I wanted to be able to use it in a creative sense. So someone, a client, gave me a DJ controller. Portable, I can travel everywhere with it, and I can begin to figure out what I used to do in my parents' basement with the 1 and the 2. I forgot how much that brought me joy. I forgot how much that it inspired me to come up with different mixes, different sounds, different this. I am a huge Tina Marie fan. There's something about her voice, her music, the movement, the soul, the feeling that I'm just attracted to, especially when she does her ballads. And I wanted all her ballads on a slow jam tape that I could pop into my cassette tape in my 1969 Buick Special when I was 17, picking up my dates and just chill and go get food and go to the park. And I had this thing, but I didn't have the ability to do it. So then I asked my parents to get me the 1 and the 2 and a mixer, and I taught myself how to do it. And I don't know why I walked away from it. I don't know if it was because of college or I was what I wanted to do. I don't know why I left it, but now I'm back to it. See, I think sometimes we avoid change because we're comfortable in what we have. We don't like being uncomfortable. We don't like having the need to fix us. We're hoping that we can fix everyone else, and in fixing everyone else, we fix ourselves. But we don't really fix ourselves. We don't take accountability for who we are, why we are, what we want, where we want to be. And I've made a decision that I have to do that. That my happiness is more important than anybody else's. And if I keep putting other people's needs, wants, and desires ahead of mine, then I continue to perpetuate the lie that I'm okay. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine. I'm cool in the gang. I ain't got no problems. You know, career is in its ebb and flow as it always is. But I get to work for me. I get to enjoy the passions that I am turning into an income. I get to not worry about other people anymore. What they're going through, what their needs, because I forgot that they're all adults. They all have the ability to fix their own problems. They don't need me to swoop in my red boots, tights, and a cape and be like, I'm here, black man. No. I was talking to a friend yesterday who was having some issues, and I was willing to help him with the issue, but something always pulled me away. Something always pulled me back. Something always said, no, he's got to figure this out on his own. And he did. It felt like he was a little ashamed of how he fixed the problem, or how it would hurt me, or how it would change the narrative of our relationship. But I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be more pleased with the reality that he figured it out on his own. Now, he has his own challenges. I have my challenges. But I've also been there through the thick of the thick. And I have fixed a few of the problems that occurred. But when I got to this problem, I was like, nope, I'm hands off. You got to figure that out. I will express why I have concerns, what the potential problems could be, but that's the end of it for me. And what I discovered was the simplest thing. Sometimes you can't be the pillow that catches them when they fall. You got to let these motherfuckers fall on their face if they come to you for help or assistance. It's up to you to decide how much you want to offer your help and or your assistance. Remember, you come first. You are the single most important person in your life. Not your mom, not your dad, not your kids, not your friends, not your job. You are the most important person. And if you can't save you first, who's going to be there to save you last? Stay woke. We out.